Are we back again?
Yeah.
We're back again. Got Cody Carlton still here. We didn't get rid of him, but he's screwing up our computer. Something terrible.
I'll tell you what, man.
I just.
Can't take me anywhere.
We really don't need to see that part.
I don't know what to do.
That's for somebody special out there, I guess.
All right, are we good right now? Or?
We're good right now.
Well, let's
I
call
slowed the
Hannah.
production down to see.
Let's call Hannah while we're good. We got Cody with us. We can keep him around.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
Ain't no need.
Are you still having fun at the arena, though? I mean,
I enjoy the people that are on the team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to hang out with them.
Right. No. But I imagine it could get boring winning everything. You like handicap him to like a lap.
I thought they were going to pull out the win.
Hello?
Hello, Hannah Newhouse. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. I got Scott Allen, Joe Staples, and Cody Carlton here tonight. So how's everything out in your neck of the woods?
It's good. It is freezing cold out here, and it is finals week here at Boise State University. So there's a lot going on.
Well, yeah, I guess you do have a lot going on. And you just came back from Charlotte, right?
Yep, I got back late Sunday night, so forced me to study on those planes.
Well, let me tell you something. You cleaned up real good at the award ceremony. I saw pictures. You cleaned up real good.
Well, thank you. I know I always show up, and it's so funny because all these race car drivers, that we're all used to seeing grubby and gross, all of a sudden everyone's all cleaned up really nice. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, you looked like everybody was having a good time and enjoying it. So give us a little update on your season this year. Tell us all about it and where all you raced and everything.
Well, this season it was different than we expected when we planned it. We planned to run the whole 2015, K&M Pro Series West, and we had funding for the first 3 races, and hopes were to obtain funding as we went on. But we were a 1-car, low-budget team. And as luck would have it, 3rd race in the year, I actually was involved in an incident where a car blew a motor, and then I was the first car to hit the oil before the caution flew, and sent me driver's side door into the wall at the half-mile Irwindale Speedway. That just flat-out destroyed our only car.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I actually was on medical leave, too, for I think a month and a half with broken ribs and a concussion. NASCAR would not let me back in until I got cleared. And so, it took a really weird curve. I ended up doing a lot of local and competitive late model racing out here, some ASA Pro Trucks, limited late model stuff. And then I also got an internship with K&N Filters, and I got to go to all of the rest of the K&N West races and East races, interning for K&N. So they just couldn't keep me away from the racetrack.
Well, that's a good thing. Now, tell us, you were out here for the diversity program, the Combine. I know you haven't heard anything, but tell us about your trip out here to Langley. How did that go for you?
Yeah, every year, it's always a great experience. That was my 3rd year, 4th year. Oh my goodness, it's so sad I can't even tell. I think it was my 4th. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. We got to go out to Langley Speedway as always and test. And there was a lot of great people. It's always fun to meet new friends and then get to reconnect with friends that have been there with the past or other friends from different tracks that got accepted. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like you said, we haven't heard anything yet. Hopefully in the next, I'm thinking a week or 2, we should know. But hopefully everything works out. I've been trying to get back on that East Coast and racing forever. And so hopefully something works out this year to where I can make that move.
So, will you be graduating this year from Boise State to where you could come out east?
Nope, I'm actually a sophomore. So, I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with that. I'm actually 18 and a sophomore in college. So, I got a little bit of give space. I did that for a reason, to where if, I were to get an opportunity like this, I could take that break in my education, and it wouldn't hurt me too bad to where I fall behind. So, if I were to probably move back east, I could see me taking a semester off and then maybe going part-time until I get residency and then going back full-time because my education is definitely extremely important to me, and I really want to get a degree as a fallback plan because as much as I would love to count on racing my entire life, you just can't, and so I've got to have that fallback.
So what are you going to school for?
Marketing and public relations. What better ties in with racing than that?
Oh, and you got tied in with a good group with K&N to help you along that way.
Yeah, for sure. I've actually been in talks too with NASCAR. I talked to them this actual weekend about getting involved with their internship program because NASCAR not only has, of course, a driving portion of their diversity program, but they also have a marketing internship portion of their diversity program. So that's something I've really been kind of looking into as well.
So do you have anything for 2016 lined up for racing at all, or are you still just playing it by ear?
Definitely still playing it by ear. We still have Boise State University who's on with us for the continuation of the first half of the 2016 season. So we're really excited to have them back on board. They really support me in not only my education, but my racing. So we're excited to have them back. At the moment, like you said, we have nothing concrete. I mean, we would love to dabble in the K&N West Series, maybe K&N East Series as well, because I'm at the point in my career that's really where I need to be, but due to lack of funding, it's hard to be competitive in that series if you're not fully funded. And so, right now, our temporary plans are we're going to go run some big late model races here on the West Coast, as well as probably full times in the Pro Truck Series. But, we're working on some stuff to maybe do some bigger showcases that will really help me advance in my career.
Oh, I lost my.
Well,
computer's got me all.
It's gotta be good. That, you got so many things that you can do with racing around. I mean, you could do the PR or you could do the racing, but I know racing is your number one thing. You really want to try to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, staying behind the wheel is definitely where my heart is. That's something I would much rather make a career out of being a driver. But like I said, you can't bank on that forever. And so doing this marketing and PR, I mean, it still gets me to the track every weekend. I'm still with the same people, working with all of my friends, getting to enjoy the races. And actually, I have to say, and I think this is funny, there's been a couple times where I've been really thankful I was doing PR instead of racing at the track that weekend because a little less stressed. And for the first time ever, I actually get paid to show up to the racetrack. That is a weird concept, to actually walk away with more money than you spent to get there. I mean, it's a whole new thing for a race car driver.
Well, now that sounds like you're turning in the other direction here a little bit.
Yeah, it was totally weird. Like, normally between all of the expenses and payout, you normally don't make more unless you're winning that $20K than you spent. And so, of course, I always love racing, and with sponsors, that stuff helps. But yeah, whole new world getting paid to show up.
So what have you learned in the PR side of it that you didn't, that could help you in your career?
There's been a lot of different things that have helped me as far as maybe working with K&N and stuff like that. Caitlin Clemens from K&N, she's been a huge help. And people from her headquarters as well, of coming up with new ideas of what's going to set us and our marketing when I was working with K&N apart from other outlets. And that's maybe something that I've incorporated into my own, as well. Everyone does this and everyone does that on their social media. What's something that myself as Hannah can do separately? And so it's all about diversifying yourself from everyone else. And so there's been a lot of things that just makes me laugh. I go back to class and, I'm still taking some generals, but I'm mostly like career-specific classes, and we're going over the basic concepts of stuff to do in the marketing and PR field in my classes, and I'm like, you guys don't get it. I've had to do this since I was 12. This is something race car drivers learn from day one. Starting in go-karts, you learn how to market yourself and target these sponsors and how to create a presence. And it's so funny going through these classes and being like, oh, been there, done that. So it's a lot of fun.
So what is from K&N side or from a sponsor side? What do they look for in a driver? I mean, do you look at more, how much socially media they are, or how important is the media side of it opposed to driving a race car?
Anymore, it's ridiculously important. I mean, I've had sponsors actually that have reached out to me afterwards and said, hey, when we were looking at you, the first thing we looked at was to see if you had a Facebook page, to see if you had a fan page, how many likes you had. They said, we want to know how involved you are and how interactive you are with your fans via social media. And then we also look at your presence, Are you doing pre-race, post-race updates? Are you keeping in contact with what's going on at the track, Anymore, I guess, it's huge to have during the race updates, That's something that, a couple of years ago, that was non-existent. I talked to my dad about what I do on the field anymore, and he's like, Hannah, I only raced like 5 years ago, and that is not stuff we were doing. And so everything's going digital, and it's huge as a race car driver to have that positive social media presence.
Well, it's good that you have that, and you're getting the experience of that you can put towards your driving career. I think it's really good, and I hope you do well on your final this week. Get some studying done.
Yeah, thank you. I had an econ final yesterday, an accounting final today, and oh man, I can't even think. I got another one tomorrow at some point. We'll see. Eventually something will remind me of what I have tomorrow, but apparently I'm not too stressed about that one because I can't even remember what it is.
Yeah, evidently you're not, because I'd be a little stressed anyway. So when do you get out for your fall break or your winter break or whatever?
The official date is Friday, but as soon as we're done with our finals, we're good to go. So tomorrow afternoon is the last of my classes for this semester, and then my apartment lease is actually up this month, so I'm packing up as well this week and moving out and heading home for the holidays.
Oh, what are you going to do when you come back? You got to find another apartment?
It actually just worked out that I had family that just moved here, and they have an extra room, and they were like, Hannah, you can live here, and you don't have to pay rent. And I'm like, college kid's dream, free housing with no rent. Like, pay for your groceries and you're good to go. And I'm like, awesome, you guys are lifesavers. So moving back in with family, which, like I said, I can't complain. I'm gone so much anyways. Holy cow, I just need a place to sleep, for a week, a month, considering how much I travel for racing anymore.
So are they going to feed you too? Because I know a college kid loves to be fed too.
Oh yeah, my aunt is actually a nutritionist, and she is like a little chef. And I was like, oh, I'll buy groceries and I'll do this. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I'm really specific on, what we have in this household. So I just cook meals and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. Not that I'm complaining or anything like that.
Well,
you go from ramen noodles to cooked meals. That's always a fun thing.
Yeah, that is good. That'll keep you going. Well, we appreciate your time tonight. Let you get back to studying because we want you to do well. And hopefully we'll find out something in the next few weeks about you being in the diversity program. We'll get you back on here again.
Perfect. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
See ya.
Well,
somebody texted me today they have a surprise calling guest Jason Manning.
Oh, yeah? Who was that, Mark?
He said Turtlehead is on his way. He said Cody looks Amish on TV with the beard.
That's pretty good because I'm gonna get him a hat to wear at the arena race to make him look.
Hey, with the Amish Mafia.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him a hat. You're already the champ. You ought to walk around there with something.
Walk around with whatever you want. What money you got?
This ain't a money thing. I'm just gonna give you the hat to wear.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
I want to see the publicity that comes behind that. Or we get him a big Richard Petty cowboy hat. And he's the champ. He can walk around with that.
I would wear that.
He said you ain't gonna be able to concentrate. I'm like, no, I can't with this damn computer. It seems to be doing fine now, but I had like a whole bunch of text messages. I just started laughing. It must be like from his work phone or it's another number. I'm like, who the hell is this? This is Mark. I'm like, oh. Yeah. That was pretty funny.
All right, we're going to get J.J. Haley on here, if I can find it.
Now, JJ, didn't he just sign a deal for a truck ride?
Well, not truck ride. He's signed his deal to stay with the K&N car at H. Scott Motorsports.
Oh, that's right. He's the only one that stayed.
He's the only one of the group that stayed. Harrison Burton is coming over there.
Yeah, I seen that. I don't know who the other guys are. But didn't he have a truck ride?
He does for part-time with Braun.
That's right. So Joe quit. Quit what? I don't know.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Who's this from?
Mark.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
What did you say?
This
now?
whole day is, this whole night is really, it's been one of those
so
screwed up
tell
nights.
Joe to be quiet. The whole arena. Are you surprised that arena racing is not bigger than it is?
No,
Really?
it's not promoted right.
Well, I'll agree with you that with that
And it's not
to an extent.
advertised enough.
No, it's definitely not advertised enough.
He's not even doing any at all this year, but
I mean,
depending upon social media.
I think his saving grace would be to bring it back to Hampton.
I totally agree with that. And I think it would do really well here. I mean, look how many
yeah.
people, anytime something's posted on Facebook, they still say, when are you going to bring it back? When are you going to bring it back? But it surprises me that it really doesn't do or hasn't done here lately as well. Because, I mean, at one time, I remember going to Hampton before I was involved, just coming to watch it. It was so super entertaining. I mean,
I
and
loved
who
it.
was the director then? Was it Butch?
Could have been Butch or Blake.
Well, I mean,
Blake
Blake
Murphy.
was involved then, but I don't know if
Blake
he was.
Murphy was the runner. He ran the show. I mean.
Right. Well, he owned the
When
franchise.
he ran the show was when the arena racing was its best.
I mean, how many people showed up back then?
Huge numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
thousands
really
of
good.
people.
It was
I
really
mean,
good.
Nothing is in Richmond. Richmond really doesn't support anything that goes on up there. You know, I mean, they had the hockey team. Nobody showed up. You know,
But I mean-
the arena, it stays vacant. You know what? 300 days out of the year.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, how many cars? Was there, what, at least 50 cars back
Yeah, there
then?
used to be 40, 50 cars.
Well,
I
you
mean,
had what
there was
up
a
to
D-main.
yeah. I was going to say the
Yeah.
D main because I seen the
And it was full.
the paperwork
Yep.
where it had the room for the D main.
A, B, C, and D main.
I mean, I think they had so many cars at that time, you couldn't just get a car and bring it. I mean, there was no room for another
there
car.
wasn't any cars. You had to buy one.
Now, did you race a whole lot did you race at Scope?
I think I did.
I mean, was it still there? Well, I think it was going back and forth at one time.
I know the Scope is where I first drove an arena car. I actually drove Patrick Morgan's car in practice, and once I drove that, I was hooked. I had to.
So you're the one that talked your dad into getting
Yeah,
in?
well, at the time I had a junior dragster, and my friend Jordan Wood, he was already doing arena cars. And
One of Jerry's kids.
no, he's not a Jerry's kid. He can
I was just
drive.
poking fun at it.
That's what it is nowadays. I mean, back then though.
I was going to bring that up somehow tonight.
It used to be
'Cause it was so
stacked
funny.
A-main. I mean, anybody in the A-main could win.
Right.
Now it's 2 or 3 cars can win.
I mean, you don't have like Weedy. Weedy's been around forever. Tyler, I mean, he was fun to be there.
Hello?
Hello, is this J.J. Haley?
This is me.
How you doing, man? This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News, and Scott Allen and Joe Staples and Cody Carlton are here with me tonight. And how's everything in your neck of the woods?
I'm really good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. And I just read last week, and you got some good news. You're going to be back with H. Scott. Give us a little insight on that.
Yeah, I was fortunate to run the 2015 season with H. Dodsons and Marks in the Canaan East season, and unfortunately didn't finish as good in the points as we'd like. Finished 6th, but had multiple runs and just didn't play luck in our favor. So gonna go try and get that championship in 2016, and got that same backing from a great team again.
Will you be doing any of the truck races with Braun again this year, or is that something different?
Yep, I'll be back with Brown Motorsports for a few ARCA races and a few truck races, depending on when the K&N schedule comes out, we'll have to schedule those later.
Now, you have a diverse background. You've done some other racing other than the NASCAR stuff. You've done some other racing. Tell us a little bit about that, too.
I started off when I was 9 in quarter midgets and moved up to mini sprints to little dirt sprint cars. Then moved up to street stocks, late models. I ran legend cars, mini outlaw cars, anything from anywhere. And, I've just been really fortunate to get in all the rides that happen.
So will your team be intact this year from the same team that you had last year? Or are you going to have some new components there?
Yep. It'll be the same team with just a few different people, but same team.
Now, who's your crew chief over there?
We're not quite sure yet on the K&N side who my crew chief will be.
Oh, so they haven't assigned the crew chiefs to the cars yet?
No. The crew chiefs have not been assigned to the new 5 drivers quite yet. We're making a crew chief change on the number 5 runs auto group car for the 2016 season. So I'm just gonna figure out who that'll be and just make plans going forward.
I would imagine it's got to give you a lot of confidence when you're in H. Scott with Justin Marks, K&N team, because that is the group to beat. I mean, that's like the Hendrick Motorsports of the K&N series.
Yeah, definitely. It's incredible what kind of work that Justin Marks and Harry Scott put into the program, and Mike Ricci over there running the deal. And it's just, we bring 5 race cars to the racetrack, which is a really hard thing to do. And for all 5 to run, up front every single week is really, really incredible. And I just, can't say enough about all the guys that work over there.
Now you had some good runs this year in the K&N car, and some good runs in the trucks too. What are you expecting for this coming year? I know you say you're shooting for the championship, but with everything with the changes, the new guys that you've got over there, what other things are you looking forward to? Are you looking to do more truck racing too, or is it just going to be the same amount?
Yeah, well, the main issue we fight with is my age. I'm only 16, and I can't go to a national series and run full time until I'm 18, or run any big tracks over a mile until I'm 18. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. Definitely expect really, really, really good results. Results next year. We finished off this year in the trucks and ARCA really, really strong, and we finished off at Phoenix in the K&N car really strong also. So got a great momentum going into the 2016 season.
Now, how did you go from your earlier to what made you want to go to asphalt?
I started off in asphalt with the quarter midgets, and then just kind of did a hopper series, if you will, in the dirt stuff. And that was extremely fun. And then just moved on the stock car route and ran street stocks and late models. And my car owner, Todd Braun, owned Xfinity team many years back when Jason left the ran in the 38 Grey Cliffs car. So he kind of had some connections in the NASCAR community, and it got me set up for where I am today.
Well, it must be good because Todd Braun has a good reputation in the racing community. So it must be good to be able to race for him in the truck series and have that set in stone, and then to have a full K&N series. You're going to be doing a lot of racing.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of races planned. I actually trying to work in a few more different series. Trying to get some more races in there. I want to be able to run around 60 races a year, but it's just the scheduling of series kind of is a little off, and you just gotta really play around with what races you could make it to, and that's kind of the hardest part.
Now you're going to be doing. You said you're going to be doing some ARCA races. Where's your first ARCA race going to be, or have you determined that yet?
I'm not sure. We're honestly waiting for the K&N schedule to come out. It has not come out yet, and it's really putting a hold on everything, considering that's my main series. So we got to get that schedule set, and then we can just fill in the rest of the races and all the other series.
Now, is it frustrating that you can run the big tracks in the ARCA car, but you can't run them in the truck?
I can't run anything this year in ARCA. I can run Pocono in Kentucky, just because NASCAR does not own those tracks. So I can run a few big ARCA races, but it's just a learning curve.
It's gonna be a long 2 years, right? Till you're 18.
It's been a long 16 years waiting till I'm 18.
Oh God.
16 years old. Okay, it's been a long time. But our local track is Langley, and I know you came out to Langley this year and raced. Tell us a little bit about your experience here at Langley and what you like about the track or what you dislike about the track.
We qualified really good. I think we qualified around 6th. That was actually, honestly, probably one of our worst qualifying efforts of this year, which is really showing something for the number 5 team. But, it was a great facility. Had plenty of practice. It really opened up, like a 2-lane racetrack. Everything was going good. I was in 3rd place until I got dumped multiple times by the same car. So, that was kind of a bummer, but we rebounded.
Now, who's the person that you go to at the racetrack to help you with some of those racetracks that you may have not been to?
What was that?
So who's another driver that you go to help you at some of these racetracks that you may be struggling at or that you haven't been to yet?
This year we actually signed on Michael Self. He is an old K&N driver and now Xfinity driver. And he's helped me. He spotted for me, driver coached me this year, and just helped me a ton up there on the spotter stand, and really just got me focused and concentrated on how to win races and how to be race ready in all of them.
How does it feel to be you're there at H. Scott, but to see the guys that have moved on from H. Scott to other rides? How does it feel to know that because of H. Scott, the opportunity is going to be there for you to move up to trucks and Xfinity on a regular basis and have that experience behind you that you need to have to get there?
Yeah, H. Scott for Justin Marks provides an excellent program. Harry Scott, being a Cup Series owner, definitely opens the door wide for a lot of NASCAR opportunities. Just running under his name is big and gets your name as a driver out there. So that's definitely big. And having Justin Marks, he has raced in a ton of different series and has done very well and succeeded. So they're both excellent car owners, and it's really good to have people like that putting in race cars.
Now, you're 16 years old, and you are now the senior driver at H. Scott in the K&N series. I mean, the other guys have not been with you. They're going to be coming to you. You're the senior guy now.
Yeah, I was the rookie a few months ago, but I guess you go from a rookie to a senior driver within a few days. So it's just going to be pretty cool to have the most knowledge until they start beating me, and it won't be cool anymore. But yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity.
Now you know Kevin Bellacourt that's there, the crew chief on the K&N champion car. You know him very well. Have you talked to him about possibility coming with you, or be coming with you guys, or is that a possibility?
Kevin Bellacourt, actually, today he signed with Ben Rhodes for a full truck season in 2016 with ThorSport.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. He was my car chief, or I guess truck chief, on my truck stuff this year, and he was a really good guy to have around. He had a ton of knowledge, so it was kind of sad to see him go, but we
well, now that's a surprise. I mean, I didn't even know that. I haven't talked to Kevin in a couple weeks, but that's kind of a surprise. I didn't know that was coming up. So, So he's left you guys. I mean, you there has been some turnover there at Turner at H. Scott this year.
Yep. It's definitely been a crazy few weeks.
Wow. Well, good luck to you. We're going to let you get back to doing what you're doing. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Hope you have a nice Christmas, and we'll get you back on here next year after the first of the year, and we'll talk again and see how things are going and what your lineup is going to be like for next year.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate having me on.
All right, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Well,
all right, well, there's some news I didn't know about.
yeah, well, I mean, it's good for Kevin, though. I mean, for somebody that had been in the sport, had gotten up to Cup, right?
Well, see,
and
now,
come back and then,
but now it kind of, and I'm going to say it right here with the camera looking right at me. Now it makes sense why Dave Adams went to Thor Sport. And now Kevin's at Thor Sport and Ben Rhodes went to Thor Sport. It's kind of making sense now that, that was they're basically taking a lot of the team with them to Thor Sport to do that second truck. That's going to be Johnny Sauter's old truck. So,
yeah, it's a great team. And we can kind of go back to Cody here in the beginning of our stuff. We kind of probably didn't get a whole lot. Now, this year, Cody, you've got some sponsors this year, so that's kind of probably new for you. What's the difference been? Is there a difference driving, or I mean, does it feel different that you have? I mean, I guess I'm gonna say, before you really didn't have anybody to answer to per se. Does that change your approach on how you do things?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, it just mainly changes how I handle myself in certain situations and stuff like that. I mean, I gotta watch what I say, watch what I do. I gotta be professional about everything, whether it's whether it makes me mad or whether it makes me happy. I mean, as far as a driving standpoint, it doesn't really change anything there. I mean, I just keep doing what I've been doing, but definitely a little more pressure, knowing that you got people that are, relying on you to act a certain way and hold up their name plus your name.
Right. And I mean, I think that's something that's good for you now, because it is something to further your career you're going to have to do, or you're going to have to deal with, I should say. Yeah. Now, who are some of the guys that are? Is it a group of sponsors?
It's actually, I mean, the guy that I'm dealing with he is the owner of the 27 car, and he is sponsoring my car, but his business is Capital Square Motorsports, but he's also ventured out and gotten more sponsors, like the new Mark Grove, and they got the VCU Arts thing for Cullen, and I mean, I think he's just an investor, and he's got his hands in a lot of businesses, and that's where he's getting his sponsorship from.
Which is good. I mean, I'd imagine you could learn a lot from him, knowing what they're looking for, and obviously it's a great connection. All the people that he does know. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's something I've never had before. I've never been this fortunate to be able to race and not necessarily worry about being able to make the next race or the race after that. It's pretty much set in stone now that I don't have anything to worry about. Just go out there and
just do your job.
Yeah, do the best I can.
I would imagine it probably relieves some stress, but then adds stress elsewhere.
Most definitely adds stress elsewhere.
As carrying yourself well and those things. I mean, I think on the racetrack you do a good job, obviously, but it's just neat, and it's a neat part of the sport that some people don't realize. The way you carry yourself is super important.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you can't go out there and act a fool. You always got people watching, and you never know who's watching. So
that's very true. Yeah. And we all, I mean, we're all been in the sport, and we all have lost our cool by all means, and it's easy to do. Some of us more than others, but I mean, we all have, and it's just so easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's with any kind of competitive sport, I think.
Now, who all are you helping over? I know you got Andy Graham over there, and Andy's done a great job. And I think for the most part, except probably one person in the garage, thanks to world of Andy, I know I do. And y'all run 1, 2, 3 in the Top Dog race. That's a pretty big accomplishment
Yeah, that's actually Andy's first 1, 2, 3 finish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's had plenty of 1, 2, 4s and stuff like that, but he said that was his first 1, 2, 3. And I mean, I'm real happy for him. I mean, I feel like I've brought him the most success that he's had in arena racing, and the same goes for him to me. Before he came along to help me, I was in the B main and the C main, struggling, trying to do everything I could to, find some speed. And he came along and started helping me, and as soon as he started helping me, we started winning races. So, big thanks to him. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at in arena cars without him.
Yeah, and then that's opened doors for you. Obviously, you've done well in the last 3 or 4 years that I've kind of been involved, and I always think back that you've done well with there, and then Mark let you drive his Pro 6 car. Maybe that's the wrong way I should say it, but he gave you an opportunity to drive, and you won your first race out. I know the guy that was leading blew a motor or whatever the case was, but you were still there, and I think in some ways you brung some interest to that class, because the year before that I think one of the guys won like every race, and nobody really ran it, and then when you came in it felt like somebody else could win, and then now it seems like that class has gotten very healthy. And I think, to me, and this is just my point of view, I think some of that stems from you.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, just like you say, a guy comes out there in his first race ever in a car and he wins it, that shows people, hey, I could go out there and do the same thing. I mean, just be in the right place at the right time. Look what it got me. I mean, I didn't exactly win the race on speed or having the fastest car, but I was in the right place at the right time.
It didn't on your right beside your name. I still got the W. I mean, that's all that matters. I mean,
what's funny about it is that race that I won, the car was green. It had green all over it. So I used to believe in that omen, but I don't believe in that anymore.
Yeah, if it's Mark's car, it's gonna have green on it.
Oh yeah. Well, he's fighting himself right now because his car ain't got no green on it in arena racing.
Well, didn't the arts stuff, didn't it have some green in it, I think?
Yeah, and actually, what's funny is the underside of the trunk lid is green. So even if there's no green on the outside,
it's got yeah.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
He's got like a fetish with green.
you seem to be a person that just loves racing, that you live and breathe the sport, and you are willing to do anything as long as you're part of the sport.
That's right. I mean, I'll always love racing, and that's always going to be what my passion is, wherever it takes me. As long as I got something to do with racing, I'll be happy.
How did your situation with the late model come about?
That was actually really odd. I was at Southside Speedway helping Matt Dale and Tommy Jackson Jr. And I just randomly got a text from Macy actually and said, hey, my dad wants to know if you want to drive our backup car. And I kind of held the phone back and looked at it. I had to read it again. And then I texted her back. I said, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah, So we started talking about the circumstances of how it would work and all that. And I kind of thought it was just going to be like a start and park deal. And I still thought that until the green flag had dropped, and nobody ever told me to get off the track. So I ended up running the whole race, and I got out of the car, and
I heard
I
you
got
were
a lot
wore
of
out.
respect for those guys. I mean, I was definitely very winded. I mean, I wasn't exactly sore. It just was very
Wore out.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
wore out.
Greg was telling us earlier in the season that years ago when we used to run 4 inches of clearance on those things, they were very easy to drive. You could drive one-handed, and I know I seen on Facebook a while back that when Kevin Harvick a few races before the end of the season, he had to hold the shifter, and how people gave him a lot of credit. And I seen Anthony Warren say, "Well, my dad drove all the time like that." But you can't really take what we did 20 years ago and how a car drove.
I mean, cars are different, setups are different. You know, everything's different nowadays.
But that's what Greg had said. He's like, driving these cars today are so much harder than what they were. You didn't run them as loose as you do now, and they're not on the ragged edge, and they're bound up, and he talked like you just had to really stay on top of the steering wheel. So I think it is a lot more work than what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help when you have an ill handling car either. I mean, which I didn't expect to go out there in the greatest piece, but I mean, I was just happy to have the opportunity to go out there and see what I could do in anything, whether it was a top-notch car or somebody's backup car. It didn't matter to me. I was just happy to get out there, get my name out there, and see what I could do. And I think I did pretty well. I mean, I didn't tear the car up, and I think I finished pretty respectably for the experience that I had.
No, I think it definitely gave you more notoriety. I mean, and from that, you've been invited to the Denny Hamlin Showdown. I mean, to me, honestly, man, that is a pretty big deal.
Well, that's a huge deal. I mean, it's honestly a dream come true. I wouldn't expected to have that kind of opportunity, for as little experience that I have, but I think people have taken notice, on my abilities, I mean, for me to go out there and do what I did in somebody's backup car, that was pretty impressive to a lot of people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you were having troubles with that car all day before you got to the
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I didn't want to take the crew off of her car and start asking them questions, how can I get this thing better or faster, I kind of just let them do their thing, and I was just kind of out there riding, honestly, having fun and just getting experience.
Yeah, and she's done a really good job for her age and what she's in and what she's doing. I mean, I got to give her credit also.
She's done really good.
I still can't imagine, like we were talking before, her being at the combine and being 14 years old, and you have all these other kids up to 18, 20 years old that you're competing against. And I'm sure those guys are probably sort of intimidated from her because she's so young. She was the youngest person ever invited to the thing.
Yeah, not to mention that's her home track, so I mean, she knows that track better than any of them.
Right.
And Kenzie Russell, 24 years old, and she's trying for the same spot that Macy is. That's
10 years.
that's unbelievable. I mean, it's who's to say what Macy's going to be doing in 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your new sponsors this year, is this just a 1-year deal, or is this something you think that's going to go further or could branch out in other places?
I'm hoping that it does branch out. I mean, these guys are fairly new to racing, so I'm trying to learn them the racing side while they learn me the business side and the marketing side. But I mean, I think they're very pleased with the way this year's going so far, and hopefully, if things go right, they'll be on board to help us.
So how many races
go
has it
up
been?
higher in levels of racing.
How many races has it been this year?
How many races?
Yeah,
have we
I'm talking
had?
about A mains and top dogs have been 6, right?
We've had 6 races.
And you've won 5 of them.
5.
Damn right they're happy.
Well, now they've been getting a 1-2 finish last week, and they won some B main races with Cullen.
Yep.
I mean, that's. I mean,
They're
any
happy.
sponsor would be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely happy. Now, if we could get the dad of the 27 to be happy, then we'd be all right.
I'm not going into that conversation because he's probably watching.
Oh, he's watching.
It's not impossible, but
Nah, I mean, we just got to work a little bit. I mean, I ain't really had this much trouble with a new car before. I mean,
He said you were exhausted after the race.
yeah, I was. I think I fell out on the ground. And then I ate a banana, and then I was like, all right, let's do the next 65 laps.
Wow.
the new car just hard to work around the track.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's got us all baffled, really. I mean, we done taken the whole thing apart, and we're going to go through everything, put it back together, and see what happens.
So when is the next race?
Oh, too far away. I mean, I'm going to be pulling my hair out until it's time to go racing again, but
Oh well.
I guess we got to do all these Christmas festivities and all this, and then
Hey.
go back.
So was it like January 15th or
I think
something?
it's the 19th.
19th.
Wow, that is a long ways off.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know why we do it like this, because it ends up running into other schedules, and you know, the last couple of arena races is gonna fall on Langley races or Dominion races, and you know, for people that race other things beside arena cars, it really screws them up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Do you like the early racing, the 2:00 racing, opposed to the night racing?
I mean, I like getting out of there early. I don't like, you know, I don't like the amount of fans that are there, obviously, because the turnout hasn't been great. But I'd much rather race at night. You know, I feel like racing should be at nighttime anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more exciting when things happen at night.
Yeah. So if you ran arena racing, what would you change? Or give me one or two things that you would do differently.
Like I said, I'm not really very educated on the business side of things.
Hey, we ain't either. Let me tell you. Dude, don't feel like
anybody can go there and say, okay, well, obviously there's a problem here, there's a problem here. You know, this is good, that's good, but they really need to work on this. I mean, I just feel like it's not promoted enough, you know. Not enough people know about it.
It used to surprise me how many fans would come in the beginning, and I asked them, was it their first time? And it would be their first time. They had never heard about it before. And they're like, how long has this been around? And I'm like, 10, 12 years.
What, 93?
Yeah.
You know, 93 was the first race in Charlotte.
No, it was the
Well, it was
first
here-
race in Richmond.
It was here before.
Oh.
It was here before we went to
Was it?
Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually on a wooden track in Richmond.
I mean, I don't really know what to do, you know, to make it better. I think obviously advertising it better would help, but I really think if you brought it back to Hampton, it would take off again.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to have some corporate sponsors. Obviously, I mean, there's no sport that it doesn't have some type of corporate sponsor. But
And I know there's plenty of cars out there. I mean, shoot, they've done had, you know, they used to have it at Charlotte, then they had it at Michigan. You know, so there's got to be at least 200 cars built, and
Yeah.
there's only 15 to 25 of them out there racing right now. So where's all the rest of them at? You know?
they're in somebody's house somewhere.
Yeah.
I know somebody's got 3. They don't want to get rid of it. Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is a very fun sport. I mean, I enjoy doing it, and the fan interaction's a lot of fun. I mean, having excitement compared to, and I'm not dissing Langley Speedway, but you don't get that same fan interaction that you do at arena racing,
Right.
where the people are coming in and they're talking, and they know you. You know, I mean, they come in and say, "Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, that wreck," or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Where we missed it a little bit out on a typical Saturday night race. I mean, I just wish it was better than it is.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about it. You know, they allow the fans to come down there before and after the race.
races.
Mm-hmm. And there's not many places that do that.
No, I mean, like you said, on the big Saturday night thing, you know, they got so much going on. I don't think they necessarily have the time for it, or, you know, I'm not sure what it is really, but it's definitely nice for the fans to be able to come meet the drivers, and come back again after the race is over and ask them, you know, hey man, you know, good job, or what happened with this, or.
And it's mandatory for us to stay after. A lot of
Yeah.
us would like to go home,
Yeah.
but in turn, it's fun to have all those people come.
Most definitely.
We had a lot that was rolled out on carts last race. I know that.
Yeah. Which doesn't make much sense to me for the amount of cars that are out there. You would think people would drive with more sense and not want to tear their stuff up, but
But you have, isn't there a lot of new people though?
yeah, there's a couple of new people, but I just don't understand it, man.
I mean, I think there's some new people, and then I don't think people understand that it's a tough little track. I mean,
yeah.
you've got a ton of laps around there, so you know it like the back of your hand. You, Scott, Travis.
I mean, I challenge anybody that thinks that they can drive. I challenge you to a race in an arena car.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it is
get out of the
definitely a
car and
lot
say,
harder.
Man, and shake my hand.
It's
I
a
guarantee
different
it.
perspective.
Yeah.
I know Testerman, his dad drove one race last year, and afterwards he's
God,
like,
yeah.
"I'll never
Yeah,
say
yeah,
anything
I
about the
remember
way
that.
y'all drive again." And you know, you got to understand too that your hand-eye coordination, or just in general. I mean, you were making a lap in under 8 seconds.
Oh yeah, the reflexes is a huge deal.
I mean,
Having a good spotter is very key.
oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, about on any of it,
somebody
but
that can watch you and ahead of you is very valuable. I mean, stuff happens so quick. You know, you come out of one turn, there might be a wreck right in front of you.
Yeah.
Know, if you
And
don't
you
have
just-
a good enough spotter to inform you of that, then you're going to end up in the middle of it.
mm-hmm. No,
But we're having fun.
and that's the big thing. As
Yeah.
long as you're having
As long
fun
as
doing
it's
it.
fun, long as it's fun, that's all that matters. When it stops being fun, that's when you stop doing it.
That's right.
All right, well, we went over a little bit tonight, but
Well, we started.
yeah, we started late and had a lot of issues, and we had Cody here, and that helps us. You know,
Well,
that hinders a little bit.
I'll say congratulations on last year and good luck on this year. I mean, I think you could probably go ahead and engrave the trophy.
Well,
Cody may not
don't
wanna
jinx them
take
like
that.
Don't jinx them like that.
Still got
But
a long
you-
season left.
You do have a long season, but you have a very, very good shot.
Definitely
I mean,
defending
it's
his
not just-
championship very well this year.
And I know, and I would say probably last year being your first championship and knowing that you beat Scott, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, Scott's probably, all in all, one of the best arena racers and works on the stuff out there, as long as he's been involved in the sport. Even though as much as we've hated him at times, you still got to give the devil his due.
Oh yeah. I mean, he came back and raced with us last week. That's the most fun I've had since last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good
Yeah, it
race.
was a good race. That was really good. I like that one. All right, I guess we're done for tonight. We'll see you again after the first of the year. We're not going to be here next Tuesday or the next Tuesday. We'll see you after the first of the year, and hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Even Scott and Joe. And
What about me, man?
well, you're everybody. I'm putting them separate.
You got your sponsors. Did you thank all your sponsors?
Yeah, you
before we
need,
get off?
you need to think.
Yeah, I want to thank my sponsors: New Mark Grove, Capital Square Motorsports, Advanced Auto Parts, VCU Arts, the team owner Yogi and his whole crew, Kevin, Nick, Push, all them guys. They've certainly made it different this year, and it's definitely for the better.
Are those a fun group of guys?
Yeah,
Are they kind of the serious?
They're a little wild, actually. I mean, they like to get up there. And
Well, I'm not
drink
gonna say
beer,
that, but
carry
I-
on and have a good time. So,
Well, that's got to be fun.
Yeah.
That's up your alley.
right up my alley.
All right, I guess that does it.
All right, well, we're going to stop on that note. All right, see you after the first of the year. Have a good holiday season, and we'll see you later.